my name is Zoe. I am the Tipsy Psychic, and today I'm going to talk about your inner authority in human design. So in my last human design video, I introduced you to the 5 main human design types. Don't forget to check out that video. And if you haven't gotten a chance to figure out what your human design is yet, feel free to get your free chart. I've posted a link down below. I really encourage you to do this. It's completely free. All you have to do is type in a bunch of information and then you get your chart. And on top, it should say what your authority is, and it should also say your type. I also promised that I would tell you what my human design type was in the next human design video, so I will announce that at the end of the video if you are interested, so keep watching. So not only does everyone have a type in their human design chart, they also have an authority. Now, what is authority? What does that mean? Your authority is the ability that you have to take charge in your life. It allows you to make the decisions that are the best for you. It's how we decide. Most of the time, it's about how we should think, right? So we're praised for being good thinkers, for having common sense, for making up our mind. We rely on our minds because that's what we think is going to help us make the right choices. And most of us aren't living by our design, our human design, the way we are designed to live. So most of you might not agree or resonate with this, and that's because you're probably not living by your design. But the truth is, most of us aren't getting anywhere. We're not leading a fulfilling life, or we're not very satisfied because we're not really following our authority. So let me start with one of the most common authorities that you could have, and that is the emotional authority. In human design, our emotional center is also called the solar plexus. And for anyone who has an emotional authority, they need to feel out their decisions before they can act, right? Feelings just take over your body. You are very emotionally driven. And the thing is, you need emotional clarity to make the right decision. It's very rare that someone with emotional authority feels 100% sure about their decision. It's usually like 80% sure, but never 100%, because emotions don't work like that, you know? Even if your mind is telling you it's a really good idea and it makes a lot of sense, or your spleen is telling you something, or your ego is telling you something, you have to feel it. You have to ride that emotional wave all the way. And you have to trust your emotional clarity. Emotions can be very difficult to sort through, so it's not simple. It's so easy to just go with your thoughts, or maybe just try to trust your instinct. But that is not how you roll. Now, being super emotional is no good. Don't be reckless because you are feeling passionate and impulsive. No. And this doesn't mean acting out of anger or fear. You may not trust your emotions because when you act on them, things don't usually go well for you. So it can take practice trusting them again. You can't make rash decisions, you need clarity. So you must go through the process of letting your emotions play out. You can't act out of excitement or sadness. You must feel things through. Take your time. Emotional clarity will feel right. It doesn't have to make sense. Patience is not everyone's virtue, but you need it. How many times have you felt very emotional about something and you just like made a decision out of anger or super excitement or fear? Or how many times have you just thought, oh, well, this makes more sense, so I'll go with that, even though you didn't really feel it? That's because you weren't really working with your authority. You have to go through your highs and your lows first, okay? So this isn't just the negative stuff. Also, if you're way too excited, you don't want to make any decisions from there too, even if you're happy about it. Never make decisions when you are emotional. Also, never suppress your emotions. So you have a lot of thinking to do. If you are an emotional authority, definitely give it a shot. Start letting your feelings come into play. Use your solar plexus. Like, if you're thinking about something, stop thinking about it. Just let your feelings work. Okay? Feel it out. That is usually when your life becomes magical because you're living by your design. All right, now I'm going to talk about the Sacral Authority. So I spoke a little bit about the sacral center in my previous human design video about the types. You must be a generator or a manifesting generator to have a defined sacral center. So if you have a sacral authority, chances are you're a generator. It's all about trusting your gut. You usually literally feel it in your lower belly. Like, often it's described as something you can actually feel. Generators and manifesting generators are meant to respond. They're not meant to initiate. So your inner authority is only going to work in response. You feel me? Responding doesn't mean waiting around. That's very different. Everything that you do as a generator is responding. You aren't just answering questions, you're constantly responding to topics and conversations and energies and ideas, to looks, to sounds, to smells. They're all responses from you, right? They're your reactions in a way. So that's what I mean by respond. You will feel a very clear response. It feels or sometimes sounds like a sound or sound for yes and no. So if you have a sacral authority, then definitely start tuning into that. It's about everything you do. Don't take on commitments without listening to your inner authority. We discussed this a little bit before, but when you just jump into things and ignore your sacral response, or you don't wait for it, you tend to commit to something you can't truly stop. So it's really important not to spend too much time on it or rush into it. Your sacral has a lot of powerful energy, and once it gets started on something, it should not be stopped. So diving into something before responding is bad. You must feel relaxed to truly tune into your gut. And it might take some practice to get the hang of it. So ask yourself, by acting, am I addressing a need? By acting, am I filling a void? By acting, am I answering a question? A big key to this is only commit to things that make you happy. Only take on things that are worth it and that make you feel good. Your life can really go downhill if you ignore this and just commit to whatever. Generators are really about self-fulfillment and doing what brings them joy. It's about their impact on themselves or others, not on the rest of the world. So focusing on their well-being is really the best thing that they can do, right? It's important for generators to pick a career that they love doing. Like, yeah, they've got all this energy, but they have to put it into something that they love. They have to nurture themselves that way. Do activities that you love to do if you're a generator. No regrets, okay? So that's how your sacral center really thrives, right? That's how you nourish it. Splenic authority. So the next one I want to talk about is splenic authority. It's your spleen. This one is a little tricky for a lot of people to comprehend. When you trust your spleen, when you trust your splenic authority, you're making decisions in the moment. It's like whatever it is, you have to act on it now. The spleen often uses the senses, like a smell or a taste or a sound can tell you what to depend on. It is a primal instinct based on survival. It naturally knows what is healthy for you and unhealthy for you. It uses fear to tell you what's what. It's designed to protect you from danger. Now, your spleen is the hardest to hear. It's so difficult to tune into because it's so small of a voice. It's not as loud as other authorities. You have to learn to listen to it. You feel this instant unease if something's not okay. It's the psychic voice that warns you when something is not good on your path. You could be at a party having fun and you meet someone who is trying to hit on you, but your spleen is saying this person is awful, this person is not good, you must get the hell out of that party. It's very subtle and very instant, and it doesn't repeat itself. So if you didn't hear it the first time, you may not hear anything at all. That's why you have to be able to tune into it and act in the moment. You know when someone is lying, you can just sense it. You might seem impulsive or reckless to others. Your intuition just tells you the answer and it requires you to be very spontaneous. We are taught to think things through and to take time to decide, but that is not right for you. Others may not accept it, but spontaneity is not their authority, it's your authority. They have to go through all these feelings or respond with a gut response. But you are not designed that way. You are naturally aware. You can spot red flags from miles away. Your psychic senses are heightened. You just have to find a way to tune into them. The more you wait around, the worse it is. If your spleen doesn't react, then just go for it. The coast is clear. Don't try to rationalize these decisions. So I actually have a splenic authority myself. So that is something that has really made a lot of sense for me to tune into, because I've always been this incredibly spontaneous person. And the more I think things through, the more they just don't seem to work for me. And so, yeah, normally you'd think it'd be the opposite, but it's not. So if you are splenic, know that you are normal. You just need to live by your design, embrace it. Learning this has really helped me embrace who I am. I'll tell you my type at the end of the video too. The next one I'm going to talk about is the heart authority, or it's also called the ego authority. It's extremely direct. It's about trusting your heart's desire. If you want it, you should do it. You must trust your heart. This is all about willpower, right? It's the drive here. So if you want it and you desire it and you're drawn to it, then go for it. Willpower is extremely powerful. If your heart is really attracted to something, you can will it to happen. Just make sure you're doing what you desire and not what other people want. You have to have that willpower. It has to be yours. Even if you seem selfish sometimes, some people might see your authority as sort of selfish because it's very me driven, you know? So the next one I want to talk about is the G authority, or the self authority. This is not an easy authority. It's really rare. You must learn to recognize the signals and what feels right. You just know it. It's through this knowing that you make the decisions. You know it and you can't explain it, but you just know it. Don't let your feelings or your gut responses or anything get in the way of that knowing. You must only commit to what gives your life meaning. For people who have this authority, it's often really helpful if they hear themselves talk it through. So it's really good to talk to someone about a decision that they're making and then listen to their own voice, listen to how it sounds to them to make their decision. Because often they'll hear it and they'll know based on that, based on what they're saying. Listen to the tone of your voice and how you say things if you have this authority. And always, always, always discuss your decisions with other people before going through with anything, okay? You want to have that knowing. You want to be able to talk through it, to listen. Let's talk about environment authority, or mental projectors. So if you have this authority, you receive guidance from sensory information about the environment. The environment must feel right for things to be right. It's important for you to be in a situation in person to make the right decisions for it, or to meet someone face to face before actually going through with something or making a choice. It's important for people with this authority to experiment for themselves. You see, the outside world is what holds the answer. It doesn't usually come from within here, or here, or here, here, here. You must be very patient. Look outwards for answers, not inwards. Research, read books, Google it. Google is your friend if this is your authority. Like Google, Google, Google. Make sure you give yourself time to decide. It can help to actually just like schedule the moment you will make the decision. The last one I want to talk about is the Lunar Cycle Authority. You are designed to wait through your personal lunar cycle and transits before making decisions. You're very connected to the moon. So definitely get an app with a lunar calendar on it, or just get a lunar calendar. Slow down. Use the support of your friends. It can help to wait an entire month, right? An entire cycle before choosing something. If it's like a really big deal, listen to yourself talk throughout the whole lunar cycle. Your body is very connected to the moon. It's beautiful. Trust your body. In order for you to really connect with the moon and make the right decisions and trust your authority, you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people and you're in the right environment. You have to feel good. So those were all the authorities. Yay! So like I said, I'm a splenic authority. I have a splenic authority and I am a manifester. So I didn't tell anyone that before. I asked you guys to guess. Some people DM'd me with different things and I'm really excited because now I get to tell you, haha, I'm a manifester. So yeah. If you don't know what that is, feel free to go back and look at my video. I can't wait to hear what you guys are. So I'm a splenic manifester, and knowing all that has really helped me and really helped me understand my life a lot better. My boyfriend is a projector, a splenic projector, so it's very interesting. And I cannot wait to hear what you guys have. So yay, 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 yay. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out my community tab and keep me up to date on what you guys are doing, because we're all in this together. We're all in this together. Subscribe. Goodbye.